Japan's expansionist ambitions began to take shape.
In the early years of the 20th century, Asia was a land of change and uncertainty. Japan, once a small island nation, had transformed into a modern military empire. Its leaders believed they were destined to dominate the continent. Across the sea stood China, vast in land, rich in history, but weakened by poverty, division, and years of internal struggle. It was here, in the heart of Asia, that one of the most brutal and forgotten battlegrounds of World War II would begin. In 1931, Japanese troops stormed into Manchuria, carving out a puppet state called Manchukuo. For many, this was the first warning of things to come. By 1937, war had erupted on a scale no one could ignore. Japanese bombers rained fire upon Shanghai, turning a proud city into ashes. Soon after, Nanjing fell. For 6 weeks, unspeakable horrors followed. Tens of thousands were massacred, families shattered, women violated, children orphaned. The world would remember it as the Nanjing Massacre, one of the darkest chapters in human history. Why did Japan unleash such destruction? The reasons lay deep in ambition and necessity. Japan's islands had few natural resources. To fuel its industries, armies, and navy, it looked outward. China, with its coal, iron, and farmland, became the target. But resources were only part of the story. Japanese leaders dreamed of ruling Asia under what they called the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere. It was an empire built on domination, not partnership. And behind it all was a fierce wave of nationalism. Military leaders believed expansion was proof of Japan's destiny, even if millions had to suffer for it. Yet China did not collapse. Despite poor weapons and almost no modern industry, the Chinese people refused to surrender. Farmers left their fields and joined the resistance. Soldiers fought with courage, often armed with little more than rifles from another century. Entire villages uprooted, marching for days with children on their backs, carrying the elderly on wooden carts. Cities were destroyed, crops burned, carved through mountains and jungles. American air crews risked their lives flying over the Himalayas, a route so dangerous it was simply called the Hump. Chinese soldiers fought side by side with Americans, tying down hundreds of thousands of Japanese troops, preventing them from pushing further into Asia. Though cultures were different, and the hardships immense, a bond of necessity and humanity began to grow between the two peoples. After 8 long and painful years, the tide of war turned. With Allied victories in the Pacific and relentless resistance inside China, Japan's empire began to crumble. In 1945, Japan surrendered. The guns fell silent. But the cost was staggering. China had lost an estimated 20 million people. Soldiers, farmers, mothers, children. Entire villages wiped away. Cities left in ruins. Victory had come, but it was written in the blood and sacrifice of millions. The war in China is sometimes called the Forgotten Front of World War II. Overshadowed by the battles of Europe and the Pacific Islands, its story is too often left untold. Yet it matters deeply. It is the story of how ordinary Chinese people resisted the might of an empire. It is the story of how Americans, through courage and sacrifice, crossed oceans to stand with them. And it is the story of a shared fight for freedom, survival, and dignity. In remembering it, we honor not only the dead, but also the living. Those who proved that even in the darkest times, the human spirit can endure. This was China's war. This was America's war. And together, it was a battle fought under the same sky.
We need your support to grow and bring you more stories. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.